Hello everyone, Santier here with more Majora's Mask. I'm also known as Ben, and once again joined by my sister.
Hello, and last time we ended the episode by getting the Mask of Truth, but I did not tell you what the Happy Mask Salesman says about the Mask of Truth. So I'll do that now. He actually has two different things he says about the Mask of Truth. He says it is frightful but useful, and he says it is able to see into hearts and minds. So that's what he has to say about the Mask of Truth. And we discovered that the swordsman seems to have things to say about masks also. So we thought we would try talking to him wearing some of these masks. Let's see.
Yeah.
This is a training center for the sacred sword. What is that mask? Is that the manner of one who wishes to study the sword? Come when you are ready. So we'll see. I don't know if he has something unique for each one. But we also can try Mask of Sense, Don Jarrow's mask. So let's see. Is someone there? Oh, that was great. I'm no good at singing, so I won't sing. Not even if you wear that. We can also try the Mask of Sense and the Garrow's mask. And then Circus Leader's mask and also Romani's mask.
Yep.
Why do you wear a ninja's mask? Do you wish to become a ninja in the future? How nice. The innocence of children. This is a training center for studying the sacred sword. What is that mask? How ugly and sorrowful. If you wish to study the sword, first remove that strange plaything. This is the training center of the sacred sword. Why do you wear that mask? I am not stinky. I take a bath at least once a month. I love this guy. This is awesome. And I think it's just Circus Leader. Or no, sorry, Romani. I think you've done all the other ones already.
I think so.
I mean, yeah, you could see what he says to different creatures too. Do you really wish to study the sword? I can't find the will to teach you when their milk has no freshness. Oh, he doesn't like Milk Bar, apparently. He says their milk isn't fresh. Excuse me, but this is a training center for studying the way of the sword. I can't help those without a sword. Wonder if he says the same thing to the Zora. How unfortunate it is, since you seem to have good skill, but this is a center for studying the way of the sword. If you don't have one, but if you have a friend who wants to study, tell them we have a group special discount going on. This is awesome. I love it. I need to write all these down at some point. Obviously not right now, but like some point. Did you talk to him as a Deku already, by the way?
I believe so, but it's been a while. I can do it again.
We'll just, if we want to confirm he says something to the Deku. You probably did it like the first run through, but I'm not sure if he came in here in the first run through or not. This is a training center for learning the sacred way of the sword. It is no place for children. Yeah. So, that was great. He is saying something different for all of them. So we've got a few more masks. Like we'll have like 5 more masks to try on with him, or 6 actually more masks to try on with him. So that will be very fun to do in the future. I'm glad we took time to do that. This is a fun thing to have discovered that he has all these different things. I feel like a lot of people... Oh, Azora! Do you live in the ocean? What's it like? Why is Tattle with you? Huh? Why? Huh? I did the hus and whys backwards. I wonder if he knows Tattle from the Deku Scrub, because they were in... What don't you want to know? Why? Why? Because I feel like he might know Tattle, because... There was someone else that knew Tattle from knowing the Skull Kid. Was it the guy in the observatory? I don't think it was him.
I don't remember.
But there was someone who kind of like recognized Tattle from having known the Skull Kid. I don't remember who it was. But definitely the people know the Skull Kid. Like, you know, the Kome and Kotake were like, oh, the Skull Kid isn't, you know, normally he's just mischievous and isn't super powerful, but somehow he has more power and did a more malicious prank, you know. So people definitely kind of, he's known. And Tattle's been his biggest friend and stuff, I think, too. All right, well, yes, you will. Good idea, because you don't have any equipment since you just came back in time. So getting some bombs and arrows is good.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Lulu. Let's see what you say to Mikau. That sad face is trying to tell you something. You can see it in her expression. Da 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 da. No. No. Oh, me.
Yeah, you play it.
No. 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 See, I'm just completely by sound. I don't have anything in front of me to tell me what the notes are.
Yeah.
No, that sounds wrong. Chicken. No. Da, 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 da. That, okay, I know it's now, okay. Ha. I had to remember how it sounded, but I didn't have problems with figuring out what the notes were, like you seem to do.
Well, that's good at least.
I was just doing it by ear, so I was like, I can hear that sounds like the wrong
Yeah.
note. I like how you can see it in the background and she's there in the foreground. And the waves and the birds. Oh, she's singing this time. Those are
I like how the
Deku nuts.
the Deku coconuts.
Yeah, Deku coconuts. Ooh, that was not a smooth transition.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Apparently Lulu never sings out here because it didn't wake him up until now. I guess it has to be that song that she sings, huh?
Yeah, the new wave bossa nova.
It should have been the song about Sonata of Awakening, right?
Yeah.
I slept quite well. I just realized this when I opened my eyes. The passing of days is quite quick, isn't it, Lulu?
Especially when you're sleeping.
Yes, Lulu, it's nothing to be surprised at. Although my eyes were closed in sleep, I still see everything that occurs in this ocean. It seems Lulu is confused. Regrettably, there is no time for idle conversation. Now then, proud Zora warrior. The open seas of Great Bay have need of your might. Quickly climb onto my back. He's making me yawn for real. I swear I didn't have to yawn until I started talking to this guy. As this guy, I should say. Mikau, what's going on? And my voice. What happened to me? Talk to her as a non-Zora, see if she says anything to you then, huh? Who are you? Mikau, where's Mikau?
Yeah.
Off we go. This turtle does not hang out by the observatory, or the lab, I mean, a marine research lab, yet he is part of the level.
Yeah, he is part of the Smash Brothers stage.
Super Smash Bros. Melee. And
Ultimate.
Also, you can see the giants and the moon getting bigger in the background and stuff, which is kind of a fun thing that they have in the background of that game, too.
This goes well for them.
Yep. It's like a tornado. So this is the dragon cloud they were referring to. I still don't get why they call it dragon cloud. Like, is a dragon cloud like an actual, like, a term that this is referring to of, like, some kind of, like, weird funnel thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So they just made it up for this game. I don't get why they call it that.
Temple.
The music is very industrial sounding.
It is.
He's waving like he does for the Great Fairies.
Step 1. I need fire arrows.
That's right, yeah, the torches. And we'll need a Great Fairy mask at some point, too.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. It kind of feels like this should be just like the entrance area where you park your submarine / turtle.
Where you park your turtle.
Your turtle submarine. It feels like a submarine bay, though, doesn't it? Like in a James Bond movie or something.
Oh, very much so.
That's my experience. Submarine parking places is in James Bond movies. I don't see a lot of real submarines. So it feels like it's purely just like this is the entrance room, but then there's actually a stray fairy in here. So you need to actually be thinking about something like that too. It's kind of neat. So yeah, stray fairy finder is a good object to be including here. Oh, money! Yay! More money. Oh, and a fairy. That's nice. I mean, you already had one, but
I can grab another.
might as well. You got 4 bottles now. They have 4 bottles total in. If it'll ever come back. Ah, there you go.
Ocarina of Time.
In Ocarina
yeah.
of Time. And this one has 6 bottles. I'm not quite sure why they decided to up the bottle count.
Because they didn't have other items to give you.
I guess
Bottles
that
are
could
nice
be.
rewards. This was actually something else that I was thinking
That
of.
might be to just fill out all the space on the menu.
Yeah, actually, that's worth noting. Is there's a bunch of healing items in these games, like
Hearts, fairies,
well,
red potions.
red potions, blue
Milk.
potions, milk. But a lot of them kind of don't really feel like they have good use, just because.
We never use potions, like, ever, unless you, like, give it to someone like Shira, the invisible soldier.
Yeah, and the reason is, like, fairies are the most superior thing to have in bottles.
Yeah, and you can also find hearts lying around.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a huge water wheel! Like, we never use milk.
But, like, because fairies are so clearly superior, there's no reason to use anything else.
Uh-huh. You can get them for free, and,
They're a full heal, and they
full
work
heal.
when you hit 0 hearts.
yeah. Like, all 3 of those things make them superior. I mean, the one thing that could make milk better is that you can get 2 doses in 1 bottle.
Yeah.
That would be, the one reason to go for that instead, but that's it.
But, like, it's also just not hard to get.
It's easier to find fairies than to find milk, because milk you can also get for free, unlike the red potions or
Yeah.
blue potions, because milk you can, bribe a cow, basically, to giving you milk
Yeah.
by playing a bonus song, instead of having to just buy it from somewhere. So it's easier to get milk, but it's easier to find fairies than cows, because all of the owl statues... That wasn't nice. All of the owl statues have a fairy by them. So they're pretty easy to know where. There's a lot of them, and you know where they are. And that's not even including, I don't think they actually have fairy fountains in this game, like regular fairy fountains. They have obviously the great fairy fountains, but I don't think they
thought that
actually.
might be the case.
I don't think they actually have just normal fairy fountains. Because like I said, you can always find fairies next to the owl statues. So that's where you get your fairies from, your healing fairies.
Yeah.
And then they've got 5 fairy fountains otherwise. Haha, we killed all the evil Skulltulas. Unless that's an evil Skulltula. I don't know
No,
what
that's a
that was.
hookshot spot.
Yeah. Yeah, what items are we missing looking at that show of items? We're missing 2 different kinds of arrows. And then what goes there? Bomb
Chews probably go
chews.
there, which I could just buy those.
Yeah.
2 bottles. This is for trade items.
Yeah.
And mail and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what goes here, though.
I'm not sure either, staring at that space. Ooh, good find. I was able, a few days ago, for fun, because I knew we were planning on doing this, coming up, I went to see if I could remember all 20/24. There's 4 transformation masks and 20 normal masks. If I could remember all of them, and I was able to write them all down and remember them all. So
Cool.
I'm proud of myself.
We're getting pretty close.
We are. We have a lot of masks. We only have 6 masks, and then obviously also 6 plus 2 more, I should say. So we have 8 masks that we don't have. So that's like 2/3, right? Because 24 divided by 8 or minus 8 would be
Yeah.
8 times 3 is what I mean. So that's why I'm saying we've got 2/3. I know math, right?
Yeah.
So we have 2/3 of the 24 masks, which means we have 16 masks. Is that right?
Okay, that's
think that's
all
right.
of them in the stream.
Yay. So I watched a YouTube video a while back by someone named
Okay, I see how this works.
Save Data. The video is called "Why is Great Bay Temple's music in Majora's Mask so unsettling?" And it was part of a series that Save Data, I guess, did about the music in the different dungeons in Majora's Mask. He might have done Ocarina of Time too. I'm not sure. and where he talked about, like kind of how the music is structured and stuff. This music has a lot of things going on with actually it's an interesting video. But part of what he did also in this video, and I think a lot of the other videos, is not just talking about the music, but he also talked about what he thinks maybe the in-game purpose of this temple is. And he was saying that he thinks that this temple is a water purification plant. And let's read what Tata has to say really fast. I get it. That huge water wheel is powering this thing. So if we've noticed when we've been talking to a lot of people, the Zoras and the fishermen and stuff like that the waters in Great Bay have become murky and warm, and the fish have become scarcer, harder to find and stuff like that. So there's clearly something going on kind of environmentally with the water where it's got issues. And also there's sometimes a problem with Great Bay Temple, where we have to like turn some spigots to get water going through pipes where it's not running right now.
Mm-hmm.
So his suggestion is that this temple is a water purification plant where it purifies and kind of cleans the water, and because it's not running, the water is getting murky and having all these issues and stuff. And turning it on is what kind of fixes the water. So I thought that was kind of a cool suggestion of that's why all these like pipes are here, and because you're like having kind of the treating the water to those are like fish shaped. That's cool. But we're treating the water to kind of purify it, make it cleaner, and keep it from being all weird and murky and warm and gunky and stuff. So I thought that was a kind of a neat suggestion of kind of what's going on here. But it's also interesting to think about like. Do you have any thoughts on what the utility is of the other temples? Like, I think some of them literally are temples, like where they kind of have rituals and stuff at. But do you have any thoughts on like any purposes in general in games? Like the Watsonian versus Doyleist justification for the existence of dungeons, right?
Right.
Like, which, if people don't know, those terms Watsonian and Doyleist, it's about Arthur Conan Doyle's perspective as the author of Sherlock Holmes versus John Watson's perspective as the kind of in-story writer of, like the memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, basically. Where Doyle is like the real world, this is a fictional thing that he made up level, and Watson is like, I'm a character in this world, writing down things that actually happen level.
Yeah.
And from a Doyleist perspective, obviously, the purpose of a dungeon is you're playing a game and you have to have a dungeon as part of the gameplay. But the Watsonian perspective is, why does this dungeon exist for the Zora characters, kind of thing, right? And I feel like in your games, Ben, that you try to have Watsonian explanations for things a lot. Yeah,
well, I want Watsonian explanations for stuff. I think, like, everything exists for a Doyleist reason, right? Like, you're an artist, you're creating a piece of art, you have some intention as you're making that art. And we shouldn't try to pretend that isn't there. And there's a certain level of not owning your creative works, like your creative decision, by trying to use the Watsonian explanation as justification for doing something that you want to do. But at the same time, it's also, I think, good to include stuff for Watsonian reasons and not just Doyleist ones. Or like, at least to have the Watsonian reason.
Oh, that was convenient.
It was, wasn't it?
Alas, you cannot bring those with you.
I'm curious if I can do that.
Oh, you can. Nice.
The answer is yes, but sort of.
Did it fall on the ground or something?
Yeah, it fell down here.
Okay. It's probably gone at this point. Oh, no, you got it. Never mind.
I think I just picked it up.
Yeah, and like certainly coming at it from my interactions with media are not mostly from video games. It's from like books, movies, TV shows, and stuff. And there's a tendency, I think, in like movie/TV fandoms sometimes, it depends on the fandom, to kind of say like, it's not that deep, bro. Of like, the Doyleist explanation is the only one. When it's like, maybe there was also a Watsonian, and just trying to come up with a justification. Maybe it wasn't maybe the author did forget something, but trying to come up with an explanation that works in a Watsonian manner.
Yeah.
Is something to think about. Or they probably maybe did intend something that, you're discounting the depth of the they could have had. Like, how much were they thinking when they were making this? When they decided to have it be all this stuff with pipes and things, how much were they thinking about the reasons why this exists? Or when they chose that the problem in Great Bay is that the water's too warm and murky, and it's bad temperatures for like eggs and fish and stuff. How much were they deciding like that to be the problem? Because why did they choose that, right?
Right, and like I can tell you from like working on my own game that you can have multiple reasons for a thing to be the case. Like, or like rather, like things being the case can be. The word that I want to use is what's true as the designer and what's true as the or like the discovery order is kind of a different process.
Like if you start with the gameplay mechanic and then come up with an in-world Watsonian justification for it, or the other way around.
There can be that, but also like here's what I mean. Like say I'm working on something in my game and I'm like, oh, this actually makes sense to kind of connect this idea together and to kind of like flesh it out. So like the process of fleshing out what's happening in the world is different than the process of exploring what's in the world. So you can be including something where it's like, okay, as an example,
Evil Hand. That feels like something you find in the Shadow Temple, yeah.
So as an example, I have, I'm trying to flesh out my game, Psychopomps Are Missing.
Working title.
This is the working title. And I'm trying to flesh out stuff in it. Okay, so what do I do as I'm adding NPCs? Well, I look at what other NPCs are, and I kind of like am fleshing out my lore as I go and things like that. So what can end up happening... These are crazy new Dekubabas, by the way.
Yeah, the water Dekus, or whatever. I don't know what they're called.
That's a good question.
You may ask Tattle what they're called.
Bio
Dekubaba. Just calm down and aim carefully, and don't blame me if one hit doesn't get rid of it. Fleshing out NPCs.
So, like, here's the thing that happened, right? Is I'm like, okay, well, let's just write a thing for a random NPC. Just giving him some random dialogue for, like, that seems appropriate to the circumstances. All right, I've done that. I've written that he's got a problem with a shortage of arrows. Then I'm like, I back construct what's going on with the reason why there's a shortage of arrows, of like, oh wait, there's a bunch of bandits in this area, and so on and so forth. So it's like, by the time I'm done, like, constructing this whole thing, I've ended up with a whole side quest where you can help deliver arrows to this guy. But it all started with, like, because they're having problems getting shipments through because of bandits. So I, like, started off with kind of, like, just a random NPC that has some flavorful dialogue to, like, oh, maybe I can add something to kind of flesh out what that actually means.
So, like, sometimes when you're creating something, you start with the idea of let's have a mini quest where you have to, where you have to go and fix this arrow shortage problem. But sometimes you start with the idea of let's have this character say something that then you realize you can turn into a mini quest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so just like the way stuff connects together, there can be a lot of like speculation on the players' end where the developers are like, the way that they're approaching developing it, it's not speculative. It's very, very clear. But like the amount of the ability to bake in sort of that thing that players are speculating about is actually a lot more straightforward because your brain is connecting all of the dots because you're the one making them. That's a very different process than interpreting those dots. And it's really strange sort of thing. It's a little bit hard to articulate because like until you've done the creative work yourself, it's kind of a bit of a foreign angle to work from.
Haha. Oh, a yellow chew. I don't think we see those anywhere else.
I think those are arrow chews.
It is an arrow chew. In other games, chews just can chew jelly.
Yeah.
Instead of containing
items.
Instead of containing hearts or magic or arrows. I think you might need arrows in the coming room. What do you think?
I think this is the frog boss, isn't it?
Wizrobe or frog boss? No, frog boss has Yeah,
Oh, it's
giant eyeball.
vitreous.
Giant eyeball boss.
So anyway, it's just I find it really interesting, sort of, because like the process of discovering something that you know nothing about and uncovering what's going on is very different than the process of fleshing a thing out that you're coming up with all of the things. And that fundamental difference is really interesting to me. It's a little hard to articulate. But it's a very like different sort of experience.
Yeah, and kind of the chicken or the egg in terms of which comes first, the gameplay mechanic or the in-world justification
Exactly.
for the gameplay mechanic. It might actually be the justification came first and wasn't justifying anything.
Exactly.
And then you can realize that you can, use that to make a gameplay mechanic.
Stuff is built both like I want this mechanic. So like for example, part of what makes the structure for everything is I have very strong opinions on how game over stuff is handled.
Well, I was really fast. I want to say one example. You mentioned the frog bad guy. Did they have the idea to have frog bad guys and then come up with the idea of the frog choir and then realize, hey, we can have the frogs for the frog choir be the bosses, or did they come up with the frog choir and then go back and add frog bosses to the temples, to the dungeons? I have no clue. It could have been either way, right?
Yeah,
Was the frog choir first or the frog enemies first?
It could absolutely be a thing where like they made both of them and they're like, oh wait, wouldn't it be cool if
we combine them together? Yeah, like it could. There's 3 options there, right?
Yeah.
Of what came first, as it were. So, it's the creative process is a lot. There's a lot of different options for how you get places too. What were you saying about game over mechanics?
But I have very strong opinions about game over mechanics. In terms of what I enjoy.
Well, it's something can be really messy with. We talked about this before, I think, but when they're not on air, but ourselves. But when you have a situation where it's in the gameplay, like you're fighting bad guys, you have like spells or items that can like heal people or even resurrect people. But then in the story, you have like a character gets killed and you can't do anything about it, or is gravely injured and you can't heal them or whatever. It feels like there's this disconnect between the gameplay and the story. I feel like there's a term for that.
Ludonarrative dissonance.
That's it. Ludonarrative dissonance. Yes. Thank you. And that's something that, like, if you can avoid it, it's good to avoid. We've talked about that a little bit with Zelda in terms of the emotional connection that we have to some of Link's companions, like Navi and Fi.
Why is it keep giving me magic?
I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to use ice arrows on him. That was a joke.
I hope not. I'm pretty sure he gives them to me.
That's why it was a joke. But maybe fire arrows. I don't know. But maybe you're supposed to. Maybe you're supposed to be Zora, Link, and use your shield to kill things. I don't know. But but like how there's some degree of, we have found anyway, ludonarrative dissonance of we don't care about Navi or even find her annoying. Or we don't really have much of an opinion on Fi, but Link clearly has an emotional connection to these. I don't know if it's actually helpful. Link clearly has an emotional connection to these characters, right? And is upset when they leave or whatever. And we don't have that same feeling because we didn't have that same emotional connection that the character does.
I feel like I'm not doing this very efficiently.
Well, I mean, it's happening. It's being done, right? You need to hit the eyeball too, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to clear the bubbles off of it.
Now, if you clear the bubbles, can it generate more bubbles? Or is it just no bubbles?
I don't know.
That'd be my concerns. If you get rid of all the bubbles, it will just be bubble free. Or it'll make more of them or something. I don't know that it does that, but that's what I'd be worried about. But I don't think it's actually a concern. I think actually if you get rid of the bubbles, it might start rolling on the ground or something. So that sounds like a thing that happens.
Sounds like a thing that could happen.
Like now. It's rolling on the ground. I knew it rolled on the ground at some point. I remembered that somehow. Isn't it weird how memory works?
It is.
Memory.
This is based off of the Link to the Past boss, by the way.
It'd be interesting to see how that works in 2D versus the 3D here, huh? Some things just do not translate. Like there's some puzzles that work in one but not the other. I've talked about that with Sonic some actually.
I am getting my butt wrecked.
Oh yeah, good thing you have a fairy. Those are your arrows. It's a wart. Once you've gotten rid of the spheres that shield the main body, you can attack the eye. Thank you, Tattle. I didn't realize that. Uh-oh, we got the annoying noise. It really is not easy to hit that eye, though, is it? Maybe you need Daco nuts to freeze it, huh? That was a joke, but... Alright, let's get our fairy in here.
Fairy 1 of 2.
Oh, good, I'm glad you have 2. Like, you shouldn't need 2, but I'm glad you have 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why is this so annoying? The thing is, its eye is not facing you, and it takes too long to hit it with the arrow. Can you do anything besides hitting it with arrows? Or is arrows the only option?
I have no idea. Let's try decking. Never mind.
You got a Deco nuts? Yeah, I figured you were. There were Deco Bobas, but they didn't give you nuts, I don't think. He keeps his eye closed a lot. Okay. I think when he turns around, you have to hit him then. When you have him Z-targeted, are you able to, like, you know, get your bow out? Yeah, when he turns around. Like right there. There we go.
There we go. That was
He's the
a
worst.
task.
Is he your least favorite bad guy now? Do you have a least favorite bad guy?
I'm not sure. Wolf elves are really annoying, actually. Because the opening to attack them can be quite tedious.
Mm-hmm. And they chase you a lot, too.
Yeah.
Yay, Ice Arrow. You were right. I thought he gave it to you, and you were right. He did.
The frog is the boss that covers the,
I think you use Ice Arrows to fight the frog.
Yes, you do. But the frog is the boss that covers the,
Boss key?
Yes.
Yes.
There's my exit.
We're still trying to determine what could go in that blank spot on your item screen. Great Fairy Sword?
Oh, I bet you're right.
I bet it's the Great Fairy Sword. Which we're probably going to get here, I guess. I'm guessing this Great Fairy gives you the Great Fairy Sword.
Probably, potentially.
Because the only other thing would be the double defense.
Yeah.
Give us the arrows, thank you. We wanted those. He regenerates if you want to wait for more, right?
I'd rather continue.
I think so. Okay, we've cleared this room of fairies. Good to know. Oh, there's Deku. Oh, yeah, of course. You need to use down. There you go. So I believe in the remake, they put bubbles on the ground to let you know that you can freeze the water in that location. I think you just need to move the location a little. Actually, it's too low down. Never mind. You probably don't do it here. But I think they put bubbles on the water when it's a place where you can freeze the water there to let you know that you can freeze it. How do you get over to just change the switch? See, as part of the water purification is you need to get the water flowing so it can get to the place where it kind of goes through the purification things.
I believe there's an Octorok over here.
Ah, that's what you freeze. You freeze the Octorok. And you do that too. Yep, that works. I feel like that was something that we might have found difficult when we were first playing this game, to figure out that you can do that. Ow. Wonder how long it stays frozen. I wonder if Tato gives you a hint that you can freeze them or anything, though.
I don't know.
But, this water temple...
That long.
Yeah. This water temple and... So this water temple, you need to be an adult, I think. Oh, never mind, you can get it.
Oh, it's just one way.
Oh, okay. I thought you had to be stronger. The water temple in Ocarina of Time uses water level as a mechanic, and this one uses water current as a mechanic.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting difference.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Both people feel like this is their least favorite temple a lot of the time, though. You claimed to like the water temple, although you got lost in it in our
I did,
playthrough. Do you like this water temple? Like, which temple is your favorite in this game?
I kind of...
Should I ask you that when you're in the Icana Canyon so that you have that one fresh in your memory?
Well, because there's things that I like about all of them is the trick.
Uh-huh. I think you switch the current or need to switch the current. Something with that.
This is definitely a lot easier to navigate in the 3DS remake because they have a lot more like stuff for directions, by the by.
Ah, so it's not just that they give you hints about where you can put ice.
No, they give much better, like, here's navigational information.
That's convenient.
It is, isn't it?
But they because I think a central hub room where they've got the spinning and you can change the direction of the water in it. But I don't think you've done that yet. And you have both red pipes and green pipes that need to get water running through them.
Okay.
Like you need to jump onto that. Like your dolphin jump, I think.
Oh, you know what, that would work. Maybe I can actually come up this one too.
Probably. Yep, that one's low enough. Any fairies? No.
No, okay.
Like a lot of rooms you've cleared of fairies, actually. So you can see the water's going in that pipe.
Okay, do I need to get over there? Probably.
It looks like it, since one pipe going in to that room has water and one pipe going out does not have water. It makes me think that you do indeed want to get over there.
Yeah. That's my thinking as well.
Mm-hmm. I bet you can freeze the water. I can see that because it's not just that you can freeze all water, it's only certain patches of water that you can freeze.
Oh, come on.
There we are. I can see that putting bubbles or something to signify that this water is freezable while that water isn't would have conveniences.
Yeah, like...
That seems a little unfair.
You want the mechanic to be consistent.
Yeah, and you want it to be obviously like...
Oh, I see what's going on there.
Do you normally have the idea of, hey, I should try freezing this water? Like, is that something that would naturally occur to you? Especially if you try it and it doesn't work. You don't think I should try it in a different location because it'll work then, right?
It's an empty chew.
Blue chew. This doesn't have anything inside of it, so it's just a blob of water. How annoying. Oh, because we make them a block, of course. That's right. Also, there are no fairies in this room, in case you're wondering. Like, I like the idea of freezing enemies, like Octoroks and Chews. Freezing them, I think, is a fun idea.
Elemental arrows definitely, like, got better over the course of the series.
Well, they weren't even really used in Ocarina of Time. They were like an extra.
Yeah.
Right? You got ice. You could get ice arrows from the Gerudo, and then the fire arrows you got from the shooting an arrow into the sun.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a fun thing, but it's also, you know, they weren't like here you get them in the dungeon.
Yeah.
So you did get ice arrows, but
Yeah, I eventually got ice arrows.
I said what I meant to say is you did get light arrows as like part of the main quest.
Yeah, the problem with light arrows in Ocarina of Time is that they are really bad.
You get them at the very, very end too. In this game, when you get light arrows as part of the quest, and if you use them to kill enemies, you'll often get a bigger reward, I believe.
Yeah.
I think like the blue bubbles or whatever, which are the skulls that bounce around that have blue light around them. I think if you kill them with light arrows, you get like 50 rupees a pop.
I think you just get 50 rupees for killing enemies with the light arrows.
Yeah.
But they're a lot more lethal in this game than they are in Ocarina of Time to enemies. And Wind Waker like really ramps up on that.
Kind of one-hit KOs, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
But you get them more towards the end of the game in that one.
This one's near the end. I coughed on water I was drinking. This one you get them at the last dungeon, so it's fairly near the end too.
Yeah, but there's still more game afterwards.
Well, the thing is with this one, because a lot of the game is in the kind of like subplots or side quests, like getting in masks, we got a bunch of masks really early. Like the first game playthrough that we were Link. Like that first 3-day cycle when we were Link instead of when you're stuck as a Deku Robe, we got like 5 masks or something.
Yeah.
Because we got like, you know, Cafe's mask, and I think we got the Great Fairy mask, Cafe's mask, Brahmin mask, Blast mask, Bunny Hood, right? It's like,
Yeah.
There's like 5 masks. But like, you know, and here's the frog. Probably if it's your first time playing the game, you don't know that you can get those masks, right? So
Yeah.
you wouldn't. And like we've been trying to do things like, you know, doing the Romani plot and, you know, different things like kind of along the way and stuff. But you might end up like saving those all for the end or something. Like you could kind of do it in whatever. I mean, obviously some of them have some gatekeeping elements to them of like you can't get the stone mask until you have the horse.
Yeah.
Because you need to get past into Icana Canyon. You know, so there's some elements of that sort of stuff. Or like you can't do the Engine Cafe storyline until you have the hook shot. Because you need to get to... Curtis is not going well with hitting him, huh? Because
No.
you need to be able to get to Icana Canyon to get to Sakon's hideout. Because you've got that ferry, huh? But I think you keep on hitting him when he's about to fall. You need to hit him before he falls.
Yeah, I need to hit him when he's
Like
actually on the ceiling.
I think your timing is off.
The problem is he actually goes to the ceiling pretty quickly, so I need to, after punching out of his thing...
You need to immediately go to arrows. Instead of, like, trying to grab magic you don't need. There you go. And I'd use the hook shot to grab him, but maybe not. Well, you hit him at least. That's an improvement. Ha! We got the rhythm down now. Also, it is approaching evening of day 1. Yay! And
There we go.
don't you like the gilded sword?
Yeah.
Gilded sword's very good. Cute little froggy. Hello, froggy.
So you'd have to go make it spring and then beat to this boss
I
and the
think
other
you
boss.
can beat them and then make it spring, to be fair.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think it doesn't have to be spring until later. Like, if you talk to him right now wearing Don Jarro's mask, he'd be like, oh, I'll see you in the mountains in springtime, Don Jarro. I mean, you could do it actually if you wanted to, just to see what he says. No?
Nah.
No? Okay. There is a fairy in this room.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
Not in this treasure chest, however. How many fairies do you have?
Not many.
We should see on your screen. I feel like there have been a fair number of rooms that haven't had any. Like that have been cleared out or whatever. But as you say, let's check how many you've got.
6?
Woof! I feel like in the first dungeon, Woodfall, you like really got them as you were going. And then in the second dungeon, there was a great deal of like, you had to go back a little bit to get some at the very end, but just like 3. It was like 2 rooms that were near the beginning that you didn't have to backtrack to when you were already near the boss. This one apparently, like you already have the,
They give you a ton of magic. I need hearts.
yeah, give us hearts, somebody. In this particular dungeon, like you already have the boss key and you've got like practically none.
I think you need to,
Thank you. Well, we still need to revert. Do we still have to do more currents? I think you need to reverse order or something still, don't we? I don't remember.
Yeah, there's definitely more rooms to go to.
Well, I guess we've got some hearts. That's a relief. Also, what counts as a room? Because there's like this current in here, and I don't know if that counts as being part of the room. So, the snapper guys, I can hear like snapping things.
I feel like I remember there being like a fairy in the hands or something.
Let me see what room this is. There's a red rupee that's just tantalizing you right there. Don't you want that red rupee?
Not that much.
You don't want it hard enough, huh? This is the main circle room. Let's see. I think you got one in the jar in the bottom of this main circle room, right?
Yes, I did.
And which room are we in?
This is just circling back.
Oh, just going back to the... Yeah, I feel like that I'm very bad spatially. And so I find a lot of these places very confusing to like follow where you are. Like, I would need to have a map and be, like, following along on the map with my finger or something about, like, where you are to really be following this. Yeah, this is the same room you were just in. Because I'm staring at a map right now of... I have the guide open, and I'm looking at a map of the temple, and I'm trying to figure out which room you're in when you do that.
Let's see. That one. So
That room.
I've
Okay.
passed through there
Okay.
and into there.
Yeah, okay, I see that. That room has one in a jar, it says. That's under the water.
That makes sense. Okay, let's go.
In, like, the tunnel area.
Yeah, I know. I just need to... This is so much worse. Like, on the one hand, things are better in the 3DS version because, like, directions are better and stuff.
But your swimming ability?
But your swimming ability is way worse.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing to keep in mind. So there should be, like, a pot somewhere in the tunnel here, I think, that's got one.
Yeah, it's... Ow. My head!
Okay, I'm following the map along now, yes. So there should be a jar right down there that has... I'm not seeing a jar. It's not like the jar that's on the counter, is it? That you already got?
What?
When I say counter, I mean the ground. It's not one of those jars, right? Those had hearts in them. Yeah, it's that one, I bet. Yep, there it
There you
is.
go.
Ha! We got it. I could have sworn you'd broken that, but maybe it was just the red.
No, it's just
it was-
the red rupees were just...
Yeah.
You know.
Alright, well,
Okay,
we
now
got...
I need to go up, I think.
There are a lot of rooms. Like, looking at the map here, there are a lot of rooms in this dungeon.
Yeah.
And lots of, like, tunnels, as it were. Haha! That's better. Now you're, like, over halfway, so that feels better.
Yeah.
Oops.
Missed it.
Let's try that again. At least you know there are no more failures in this room.
That's true. I don't think being a Zora is going to make this better, by the way.
Maybe Bunny Hood would help you jump further, but it might not be your goal. Sometimes you overjump when that happens.
Yeah, it's true.
Alright. Phew. You always go for diving when you're a Zora.
Well,
Was that better or worse? Also, I think you got up on the wrong one, because it doesn't have the ladder. Oh, there it is. Okay, never mind. You do have a ladder.
let's see. Because of the goal... Get out of here, bots.
Is it change the direction of the water?
There.
Yay! We can use the ladder. I do feel like that ladder looks different than the ladder in the Swamp Spider House, by the way. Like, I don't know that it means one of the ladders is fancier than the other, but it is different.
It is a different design, yeah, because this one's more like rope, and that one was more wood.
Yeah. So it's probably that. Can you freeze a Tektite?
Yes.
Yes, you can freeze a Tektite.
Is it helpful? That's another question entirely. Okay, so step one...
Is this the only mask you can put on while in water?
Probably.
Because you have full health this time. You've been being injured a lot, but...
Mm-hmm.
It's a big square room.
Yeah, after the big rotating room.
And it looks like there is a treasure chest in the middle.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? A lot of pots full of magic around the edges. Okay.
Alright, I got another switch to rotate. How many switches are there to rotate?
A lot. I know
should-
that's a very precise count, but
I should try to count. Well, is there a green one and a red one and a yellow one, or is there several green ones and several red ones, or? Ow. Is this a different Tektite, or did freezing it not kill it?
freezing it didn't kill it.
Okay, I thought it might not have. Yeah, I think... Aha! Ooh, and a red rupee, too. That's nice.
Yeah.
I think the treasure chest in this room has a fairy in it, by the way.
Probably. That would be my guess.
What is the range on this hook shot? Because that looks like it should be a long shot.
It's better than the Ocarina of Time hook shot, but I'm not sure if it's as good as the long shot.
But it feels like it's really far.
Ah. I see.
We need to do it from an angle so that we don't land on nothingness, right? If we were in, see, there's no way to tell if you can do it or not, which is very frustrating. Like, why did that one work? Was it just closer? If we had Link from Breath of the Wild, he could, like, climb on that mesh. I said mesh instead of mesh.
Yep.
He's very good at climbing, though.
Yeah, he is.
Well, before your ice cube melts. Yeah, there it
I'm not
goes.
sure if it can melt while you're standing on it or not.
Oh, that would be interesting. I'd be afraid that it would, though. There we go.
Because some of that stuff can sometimes be a little wonky. About whether or not you're allowed to do that. This will probably be a little bit longer of an episode.
Unless you're saving the boss fight for the next one. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm not planning to.
You want to get the red rupee?
That red rupee, Jennifer, will dump me in the water.
Oh, true, I guess. Yeah, that one does it, I think.
There we go.
Yay, we did it. All right, fairy chest. Fairy treasure chest.
The other side.
Here we come.
Can't open it from the hinge side.
Nope. Unless you break the hinges. Then you could do it.
Yeah. Okay, that's the last one from here.
Yep. And look, we've got lots of water flowing through pipes now.
Yeah.
So the yellow pipe and the green pipe.
Let's see. Okay.
Oh, the two rooms you haven't even gone to yet. You got the boss key really early.
Yeah.
Were you supposed to get it then, or did you get it too early?
When I don't want to get on this thing, I tell you.
Isn't that always how it works? But yeah, like, cause I feel like normally you get the boss keys like the last thing before the boss, but here, like, you haven't even switched the direction of the water yet, have you?
No, I don't know that I have.
Or like the direction of the current, and you haven't like done the weird stuff with the water wheel where you freeze the water wheel and things. Like, I think there's all the parts of it that I remember of like you turn on the water in the pipes, you switch the direction of the current in the big spinny room, you freeze the water wheel. There's like the things I remember, and you haven't done like half of them.
I know.
How do you already have the boss key? But like, there isn't actually a reason why the boss key should be like one of the last things you do, right? There's actually a reason for that. Like, it'd be interesting to have actually a game. Cause like I'm thinking about like, for example, I remember in the ooh, that was cool. You like spun. But I remember in the Fire Temple in Ocarina of Time.
Where am I trying to get to?
I don't know. Where are you trying to get to? I remember in the Fire Temple in Ocarina of Time that like when you enter the temple, you see Darunia go into the boss battle room, and it's like right there at the beginning. So like you know where that is from the get-go. It's just a matter of getting to the point where you have the boss key.
Oh, maybe I need to go to the bottom.
And the Megaton Hammer, obviously. But and also you're supposed to your job is to free all of the Gorons. But like, you know, basically in terms of like not story of like, oh, you need to get the Megaton Hammer, you need to get free the Gorons, but in terms of like to actually like beat the dungeon, you need to have the boss key, but you know where the boss room is the whole time. So it's not a matter of getting to the boss room; it's a matter of getting to the boss key.
Yeah, I kind of find the design where the boss key is available from, or like the boss room is very early on, but the boss key is
harder to find?
Much later. It would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, also,
But they did that a lot in
I was gonna say the Forest
Ocarina
Temple.
of Time.
Yeah, the Forest Temple is like you enter, and the first thing you see is there's an elevator that takes you down to the boss, but you have to get the 4 ghost flames back to get the elevator back to access it, because like the ghosts hide. And
I
run
think
away.
I'm at the point where I need to be swapping the direction.
I think you do.
I need to figure out where the other brown pipe is.
Oh, you don't call it yellow, you call it brown?
Yellow, whatever.
I think it's yellow.
Hang on, I want to get up.
You probably think it's like cyan or something to get primary colors. Right?
Maybe I need to go back into the main area?
Is this not in the main area? To me, this is the central hub. Yay, more magic.
Yeah, I want to get back over there. Okay, cool.
Okay.
There's a ladder.
Yay, go ladders. That ladder is a wooden ladder.
Yeah.
But I still think it looks different than the ladders in the swamp spider house.
I think there's a couple of different varieties.
Yes. So I feel more justified in thinking that that was a fancier looking ladder, because I think it was. So I feel better now.
Okay.
Ah, this room. Mm-hmm.
That's what I needed to do.
Yep. Here's where we're changing the direction of the water wheel. Actually, we're stopping the water wheel. I think if you pull it more, it would change the direction.
No.
No?
It turns off that direction.
Oh, you turn on the other direction somewhere else, huh?
Yeah, so what I'm seeing
Okay.
here...
So does water go to both of them right now? Yes.
I need to open the red tap.
Yeah. And you don't do that by pulling that another degree?
Huh? No.
Okay.
This is the yellow tap.
Okay. Oh, it only has 2 directions?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's on or off.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I see, you're right. And if they're both on, then it balances it, I remember. And when you... so you have them both on to balance it at one point, and then you turn the one off to have it go the other direction.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we've got a bit of an idea what's going on now. Like, this is clearly very industrial in its design. And, like, they clearly deliberately did that. I feel like you killed these things and they came back.
Yes, that is in fact what happened.
Okay.
Okay, so... Uh-huh.
Ah, there it is. Haha. I was right thinking we'd be in the same room at least. There's still 2 rooms you haven't entered, though.
More than that.
Well, I was looking at the map. From what I could see, there were 2 rooms you hadn't entered.
On this level, maybe.
There's only 2 levels, though, aren't there?
There's 3.
Oh, that was not the correct timing.
Apparently not. Can I get up there from here? Or is that too far? Oh yeah, that's way too far.
Way too far. We know what we're doing now, so that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of playing with water mechanics.
I find this to be an interesting idea of, like, controlling the flow and everything.
Uh-huh.
I do think the 3DS version's clarity is better.
Mm-hmm.
Just for, like, the playability of this dungeon.
And what are you said it has more like signage or something? Like what is it exactly that it's doing differently?
It's just a lot clearer. It calls way more attention to the pipes and the direction that they are and everything.
Huh. What does it do to do that though?
It's hard for me to articulate without having actually looked at a thing that shows the comparison.
Uh-huh. So now you want to turn off the yellow, right?
Yes, now I want to turn off the yellow.
I want to find a comparison of the 2 now. But
I'm sure you can find them.
yeah, there is and that's one of the things actually really fast that is frustrating is that there are things that are preferable about the remake and a lot of things are preferable about the original, rather than saying there's one version that's definitively the best, right? They both are like, oh, I want to mix and match. Like maybe you want to take, elements of this dungeon in the 3DS remake version, but then you want to have like some of the graphical improvements of the 3DS version, but then you want to have like the boss fights of the original and the Zora swimming of the original and things like that. It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
That they can't just have one version that has all of the things you want.
Yeah, there's not one version that has all the good things. It's just like this one has some of the good things, this has other good things.
But one thing that's tricky is that when you are in like making the game and like living and breathing, thinking about the game and the design of it and everything, it's really easy to not realize that something is too subtle for the player to pick up on. Like you're mentioning the pipes, it's really easy to be like, I know we designed this dungeon around the pipes. I've been staring at the pipes for 12 hours a day for, 5 weeks working on this. So I am, I am sick and tired of crunchy audio. No, I'm sick and tired of these pipes and I know how the pipes work and it's super obvious because I've been staring at it for so much. And so it feels like this is, of course, obvious. And you don't realize that for someone who's like, this is their first time ever entering this dungeon, it's not super obvious.
Yeah.
Now, this pipe I can see is turned off.
And that's one of the things that I'm actually worried about in my game is like, okay, any puzzles I make, I've had to know what the solution is to make them.
Yeah. How much is it like guess what I'm thinking kinds of puzzles?
Yeah, how intuitive they are to other people.
Yeah. That's really the big question of like you don't want to have a guess what I'm thinking puzzle. But how do you have how do you have a clue that is universal and not guess what I'm thinking kind of a clue?
Yeah. Because nobody wants puzzle design where it's like...
Me and my friends get this and no one else because it's an in-joke. Or it's a localized reference even. Mm-hmm. Or like there are multiple, there's 2 of them. There are multiple references this could be and I know which one I'm thinking of, but only people who know me would know which one I was thinking of. Yeah.
And like it turns out it's really, really like depending upon what mechanics you have available to you, some puzzles are just really hard to actually do.
Uh-huh. Do you still want to be using ice arrows for all of these things?
Well, I kind of don't want to switch because putting ice arrows back on is really annoying.
You're lazy is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
I don't think you popped it.
I did not.
But there would have been a noise if you'd popped it. Like a puzzle solving noise. Definitely not there. Now, I feel like in some of the other games, if you have an arrow set, you can retract that and undo that. It seems like in this one, if you have the arrow set, then you have to shoot it.
I'm not 100% on that, but
you certainly are. You're like, oh, I can't make the shot, but you're still shooting the arrow. That's how it strikes me anyway.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if that was like intentional or versus like you didn't have another option. Of like once the arrow is in there, you have to shoot it. Yay, finally. We'll have to see if this is the last one in this room. Yep, I think your sparkles went away.
They did.
All right, good to know.
And that was number...
Also, remember how small this mask looked in her hand when she was holding it? And we were like, holy cow, her actual head is so much bigger than this one.
Yeah.
Look at how big it is on you. Like, it's clearly too large for you. It's hanging down underneath your head if you look at us. So we can see your face. It's clearly too big for you. So that just even
this
more...
won't do anything yet, by the way.
But even more emphasizes how large
this is an interesting design decision. Because that's opened up this pipe, but I haven't sent any water through it yet.
Ah. Interesting. So how do you send water through it? You have to close another passageway so it goes this way instead? Or?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. Is I'm going to have to go to the... So I was just in this lower area.
There are 3
in this
levels,
side, but I need to go to the side over there, right?
Okay.
That comes off of kind of the mid-height.
Uh-huh. Okay, yeah, I see. Because this room here has several different levels. This is my spatial orientation being messed up.
Yeah.
That's the wrong direction. Okay, so you want to be in the, instead of the lower level, you want to be the middle level. Okay, I'm following you now.
So I'm paranoidly checking every single pot
I know,
in
like,
case one has
it's like,
a fairy.
is there a fairy in this spot? Yep. And see, I will say that having, because this is, the searching for fairies is kind of similar to the searching for the gold sculptures, right? Where it's in one location. But having it where you're doing this paranoidly searching every pot in case and barrel, in case there's a fairy inside of it, when it's in a localized area, is much easier than if it's like the entire world map. Like for the gold sculptures in Ocarina of Time. So I will give it that. And I'm seeing that there is a fairy in here somewhere.
Oh, that's this room. Okay.
The water wheel room, huh? I think there's a treasure chest or two in here that has fairies, by the way.
That is my impression, yes. Well, that could have gone better. Do I need to unfreeze that? That'd be annoying.
That would be annoying.
So arrows are way better in Wind Waker. Because in Wind Waker... Is there a hookshot target? No, do I just need a fire arrow that? I think I just need a fire arrow that. In Wind Waker, you can cycle between the arrows...
In their own menu or whatever.
While the bow is out.
Yeah. Instead of having to... change it. Yeah, things like that with the quality of... Like how you're talking about how annoying it is to deal with the iron boots to go up and down in water versus just the Zora. Where it's much easier, logistically. Now, in the original Japanese version, my understanding is that you have to time that to make that be flat, so you can stand on it as a platform, whereas in the North American version, it automatically makes it flat.
Thank goodness.
Oh, I would cry. I would, yeah. If this was just automatically like this, and you had to, like, time it, I don't even know how you do that. It just sounds like a nightmare.
We're gonna go this way first.
So that's what I've heard, though, is that it was like that. What is that picture? Is that like an octopus kind of thing?
Maybe.
It's like Cthulhu or something. I don't know. But anyway, fairies are in this room, and I think you only have 4 fairies left, by the way.
Yes, that is correct.
So you've made some good progress since we last looked, and we were like, you only have 6. You've made progress since then.
Again, fairies can be in containers, means that I want to bust all of the containers.
Yeah, you have 90 rupees from doing that. Aha, that's one of the... Was that one of the empty ones, or was that one of the... Was that an empty chew, or was that one that had arrows in it?
I don't know. Okay, I think there's stuff underneath one of these.
Stuff underneath. Like a room underneath? Oh, a barrel. With a fairy. Yay! Just 3 more.
Hey. They're hiding these things well.
Yeah.
Don't worry, this will just be an hour and a half, maybe.
This is the long video, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe when we do the next temple, you'll have to split it in 2.
Maybe.
It's got 2 halves, so that would definitely be doable. What are you trying to accomplish with that?
Oh, just trying to get underneath it, that's all.
Well, I was trying shooting arrows at it, is what I meant.
Freezing it in position.
I don't think it froze it in position.
I don't think it did either.
You can freeze water and some enemies. I don't think you can freeze these metal, wooden, whatever they are structured. I think they're metal. I think they have rivets, actually. See, there's that symbol again. Is it like an octopus? I see eyeballs. Freeze the guy on it. That's why I was asking if he had arrows or if he was empty.
Stop attacking
Okay,
me.
he's got arrows.
Yeah, okay, there's still more in here. I see there's supposed to be a chest over in the corner.
Yes, I believe there is one in the chest.
I'm not sure how you make that show up.
Is it on the upper level?
It might be. It's probably behind that cage.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a pot or treasure chest or something.
Oh.
There you go. You have to unfreeze, not freeze. So it's the opposite of what you thought. Ah! Above your head. Always check the ceiling, apparently, huh?
Yeah, gamers don't look up.
It's easy not to.
It's very easy not to.
Whee! It's like an elevator. Yeah, it's convenient having like the freezing and unfreezing arrows, basically. Because it means that you can kind of go back and forth. Alright, this should make the pipe work. You can see it's going in one place and not the other. So it should make it go through the whole way. There we are. That was an important step, apparently. Alright, let's try to get that treasure chest then, huh? You need to be taller. And not running into them. Those mice are so annoying. They're called like bomb chew mice?
They're just bomb chews.
Bomb chews, yeah.
Or living bomb chews, maybe?
Living bomb chews. I guess it makes sense that bomb chews would be based on them because they're mouse-shaped bombs, and those are mouse-shaped bombs, you could say, right?
Yep. I want to see if there's something under this side as well. Oh, you know what? It's probably just the other side of that same puzzle.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yep, where the barrel was. Alright.
I want to check the other two things.
Probably not bad to
There's
use
another
the fire
fairy
then.
in this room.
Yeah, it's a treasure chest, remember?
Yes. Yeah, okay, there's not going to be anything.
But the fact that they were giving you arrows and magic shows that you needed to use some kind of arrow magic, right?
Mm-hmm. The fact that they have chews to give you an endless supply of them is also a pretty big clue.
Uh-huh. It was just a matter of not ice arrows, but fire arrows. Guess that does it. Convenient, you don't have to hit the surface, but or the source.
Indeed.
You just hit the water itself.
I'm gonna lower that one as well.
Alright.
While I have ice arrows out. This is definitely one of the more complex ones. I think
Dungeons or rooms?
dungeons. The water temples in general have a reputation for being really complicated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a lot of elements here that are definitely not just like fight a boss,
Yeah.
but are like solve the puzzle involving the items that you got or are using it, involving water. Alright, hopefully that bomb chew is not here.
It kind
anymore.
of blew itself up, so.
Yeah. And unlike the chews, it's not regenerating, so that's
Yeah,
good.
it doesn't respawn.
Ah, you're not tall enough for this one. Oh, you didn't need to be. Okay. I would use a hook shot.
I would too.
Yay. Alright, we only have 2 more. Cool.
I just want to confirm that this is the last one in this room.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, let's get out of here. We got the water going all the way through.
This is
That-
why we reset the day for this particular dungeon.
Yes. Ow.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna give that to me. I'm gonna take it.
Okay, I noticed that it committed your magic once you like notch the arrow. So it must, like, you have to hit it. You have to shoot it after you do it. Look at the design on the wall. They look almost like owls. I love owls. Oh, I love you. You're so cute. Look at these cute little owlies. I don't think they're supposed to be owls, but I assert that they're owls. See, Kapora Gabor doesn't show up here. He showed up in the swamp. He showed up in the mountain. That's Kapora Gabor's cameo in the water. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's gonna have one in a canyon, alas. He will be alive in my heart instead. How's that? He's very cute. I like owls. Alright, so are we going back to the main room now?
I don't think just yet. I think this loops us back over into here and then back around.
Okay. Sideways jump again. So I think you're wanting to... Thank you for that nice banner that blocks my view. So I think...
This room still has like 2 chests in it to find, so...
Okay. Now I think you are going to be wanting to freeze the water wheel again, or did you already do that part?
I don't 100% know what I need to do just yet.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the next step is. I guess check to make sure if there are any fairies in this room. Did we already do that?
Huh? I'm here in part because I believe there are 2 fairies
Okay,
in here.
yeah, there are fairies in here, so. Do you check the barrels? You probably checked the barrels.
I have checked the barrels.
Okay. Let me look at my map again. This is that room. There's 1 in a treasure chest. No, there are 2 in treasure chests in this
Yes,
room.
I assumed as much.
So you don't have to worry about timing that. It does it for itself, which is such a relief.
You kind of have to time where this platform is, though.
So, oh yeah, you can see them on the map there. I see. Yeah, tell me where the platform is located. Vertically speaking.
Yeah.
Do you want your super jump abilities?
Okay, so 1 must be up in there.
Mm-hmm. I would have thought having a bunny hood would be a better jumping ability. No?
Height also counts for a lot.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, like having some of the different how do we say this? Divisions and Link's abilities between the different masks.
Yeah. A lot of it was just that I was too low. Like, I'd let this platform get too low.
Okay. I think you can use a hook shot potentially. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Can you hook shot into that room or anything at all?
Maybe. I'm going to try. Not from right here.
Nothing on the ceiling or anything then, huh?
No obvious hookshot targets in the ceiling now.
Oh, okay.
Like, I can see the chest back there from here, but...
Maybe you'd be on the other side of this central thing to be a different angle. But would you fall off? Okay, just fall there. Like this angle would it help?
Yeah.
There we go. Yep, that did it. Yay! All right. 14. So it means I think there's 1 more in this room. Is that right?
Yeah, there should be 1 more in this room.
And that's the last one.
I need to get over to that side.
Looking at the map in the corner, it looks
There
like.
it is.
Ah, yep, we can see it there.
Okay, so how do I get to that?
Hook shot? Eesh.
Indeed.
Very ishi, huh?
I think if this thing is going, that platform moves, but... Here, let's do this.
Well, now it's below you.
Yeah, but I have access to this now.
Mm-hmm. Ah! Ah, a torch. That's convenient. Yay! Alright, let's get it.
There
Yay!
we go.
And we know where the fairy fountain is too because we accidentally found it.
Last time. Okay, now all I have to do is get out of this room.
And do we know where the boss is?
Yeah, it's in the lower thing,
Okay.
I think.
Well then, let's go fight the boss.
I just have to figure out how to get out of this room. We're gonna have to do some of that again.
Did you do the water wheel?
Yeah, I think so. The Song of Storing take you back to the start of a dungeon.
No, I don't think you can use it inside the dungeon. You're thinking of Foroy's Wind or something.
There's different things that will sometimes have that functionality.
I don't think they have that in this game. I mean, you could try it and see what happens, but I think it just takes you to the owl statues.
Yeah, because like in A Link to the Past, the mirror that takes you out of the Dark World back in the Light World can also be used to get to the entrance of dungeons.
Is the boss near the entrance to the dungeon then?
It just lets you get out if you want to get out or whatever.
No, I meant in this dungeon.
Well, it's more of like getting myself out of this particular loop that I'm in.
Okay. Certainly, I know that you were taking advantage of the lava to kill the Deku Scrub to get back to the platform you started off on in the Snowhead Temple.
Okay. I think here I need to actually go over to that end.
Not underwater, huh?
Correct. Because underwater puts me back in the loop.
Correct. Because I think you're right. Because I think the idea is that you're using the ice arrows that you recently got in this dungeon to do it.
Okay.
Not quite. Wow, the fish went on top of the iceberg. And I think it can melt while you're standing on it, Ben.
Apparently so. Yes, that was dumb. That was what I did.
You have to do the swimming.
It's really annoying.
Alright, let's start over. There's a lot of
Take two.
There's a lot of having to start over if you fall somewhere. So that's a common thing, though.
I would be like, how long is the water dungeon episode? It's like, yes.
It's always the water dungeon, right? There we go. Woo, we made it. Alright, let's go find Georg, whatever this guy's name is.
Oh no, this is just this room. This doesn't help me at all.
Oh, never mind. This is dead end. After all of that effort!
I know.
Alright, at least we got magic. Alright.
I feel very confused right now.
Well, you need to find the boss room, right?
Yeah, the thing is I found the boss room. Okay, here's... Okay, I don't know why that was so easy.
So you do go in the water. Okay. Instead of on the platforms, I mean.
Yeah.
Alright. So, boss room. Here we go.
Yeah, and this was the room that we came to earlier and flipped a switch, but I didn't have the water going up this pipe yet. And you can tell the water's going through a pipe because of the texture on it.
Yeah,
I
it's
think that
colored.
texture is a lot more pronounced in the remake.
Okay. And also there are arrows showing which way it's going, but also you can see the direction the light is pulsing.
Well, that just sucked.
You're just having horrible luck with your timing in this dungeon.
I have had so much bad timing with these. Because it's like, oh, it's down. I can jump out. Oh, wait, no.
You needed to wait a second to make sure it was staying down, I guess, huh? Alright, well, we can do it now. We're gonna fight Georg, who does not have a weird, creepy eyeball in this version, right?
Georg is much... Like, all the boss fights I think are better in the original.
Yeah. You said you weren't sure about Twin Mold, but
Twin Mold is a potential exception.
we'll have to see how Twin Mold plays in this version.
Finally.
Oof, we made it!
I'm not sure about that hour and a half. It might be a little over, everyone.
Unless you want to have the opening of the next video be fighting the boss.
No, I do not.
Too much even for you, huh? Alright, let's see. Will this be better than Morpha, or whatever the bad guy is in the other water
I
temple?
mean, at least it's a fish
Instead of a blob.
instead of an amoeba.
Yes.
An evil amoeba.
First person point of view. That music is unsettling.
Yeah. It's a masked fish this time. They're all masked.
They all wear masks, which is what you steal from them. But you don't wear the masks. The creepy, weird, maybe creepy is the wrong word. The weird children on the moon wear the masks. He didn't like that. Uh-oh, he swallowed you. Too bad you can't use the magic power when you're swallowed.
Oh, I know, right? Punish him.
Wow,
For
the crunchy audio. I don't think that's hurting him.
it. I have to remember how to do this fight. I don't know what makes the audio go all crunchy like that. Everyone,
I'm guessing volume, but I don't know why it would be volume. Maybe there are certain frequencies. Ow.
What do you say?
If you go near it now, you'll be eaten. Aim for it from afar to do something.
Weaken it.
Weaken it. I think what you were doing was accurate. Like, you're not hurting it anymore, I don't think. It doesn't look like it's getting hurt. I think you need to, like, hit it with the arrow, and then you can approach it when it's frozen. Yeah, like that. I think that's how you're supposed to do it.
That's what we're doing.
He likes chewing on you.
It does a lot of damage too.
It does. Try to avoid getting chewed on, I guess.
That seems like general life advice.
Do those pots regenerate?
I don't know.
No, I don't think they do. I thought I had seen 4, but I think there were just 3.
Dive when I tell you to dive, please.
Alright, gag range of his mouth. Ooh, magic. Hearts? That would be nice too. I feel like those ones might regenerate though. Do the...
I feel like green ones generally do.
Uh-oh, we're getting eaten again.
I have a fairy.
Yeah, I know.
That's my last fairy, so.
Yeah, that's why you can't get eaten too many times. But you can't use your sword, right? Since you got the special, powerful, gilded sword right now. Alright.
Just climb out, please.
Wow, that audio is really bad.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if it's as bad on the recording as it is for us, but.
Oop. Where did he go? Tattle, do you see him anywhere? There he is. So, in the remake, where they've got the weird eyeball thing,
Oh, okay.
Guppies.
Phase 2.
Something at Guppies. In the remake, when they have the weird eyeball thing, is it come out of his mouth or something? Like, how does it work exactly? For Pete's sake, he keeps eating you.
I wish there was anything I could do to mitigate that damage.
Mm-hmm. Beyond not get eaten, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, hearts!
Yeah, I see them.
He was behind you. Ah! We are being eaten. Oh, I saw a heart in the water, though. It's like blood in the water, huh? Yay, because we got one heart out of that. Alright, now we have to find him again. I think she does the same thing each time. Alright, I think we got the pattern down. Let me swim away, swim away, swim away. Ah!
Really?
He catches you so easily. Okay, this is getting tense now since you don't have more hearts. I mean, more fairies, which means the same thing. I'm just imagining lengthening this episode even more by having to redo this fight.
If I lose this fight, we're gonna stop the episode there, and
Okay.
I'll come back and do it in the next one.
Okay. Probably the right call. Okay, I think we might have done it though. Oh! That's a relief. And he turns itty bitty tiny.
Isn't there a mine phase? Huh, I guess not.
That might be something they did in the remake or something.
I think in the 3DS version, you have to, there'll be mines that pop up underwater, and you have to get him to swim into them.
Huh. Let's get some HP from that heart.
No kidding.
If you accidentally step into the light instead of grabbing the heart piece, can you come back and get it?
Yeah, probably.
Woo! Well, that was good. Alright, let's let me do that again.
That's why we're recording it,
you
right?
seize Georg's remains. You have just freed the innocent spirit that this dark mask had kept imprisoned within the body of evil Georg.
As it flies off into the sunset.
And this is blue, so they are different colors, because the first one was green.
Yeah.
The first one, I think, was green. Was the second one, like, pink or something? Hey, listen! We want you to lend us your power! If you just leave things as they are, something terrible will happen to this world. Surely you're the only ones who can stop it. That's what Tail was trying to tell us. Help our friend? Help our friend. I get it. We have to help the last one. I love that double meaning, Six Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah.
Where, like, Tattle is assuming, and probably you as the viewer, watching it if you're playing this game for the first time, assume that it's the fourth giant. That's not what he's referring to. Then promise us this: you'll cooperate with us. That's great. I like that double meaning. Where
Yeah. It's always nice when you can have things that can be like that.
yeah, and the fact that I also have Tattle say that to reinforce that that's what it means. So not just making you assume, but like you then assume that's what it means because Tattle is assuming that.
Yeah.
Now I can continue resting in peace. I too must abide the laws. Not abide by. Abide the laws of ancient times and again merely watch from my deep slumber. What are these laws of ancient times he's referring to?
I don't know.
But the evil that haunts this land has not completely vanished, Link. I shall depart after enjoying Lulu's voice a bit longer. I think the gods can permit that.
Well, everyone, that's the end of that very long
Monster episode.
monster of an episode, indeed. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. When I come back, we will do stuff, like turn in the fairies and everything. But until then, everyone, take care and goodbye.
Bye-bye.